Let's start recording, and I'm going to spotlight myself. Welcome back to session 2. We're going to be diving into poses galore. So can you see anything? Okay, now you can. We will be learning 38 arm positions today. Next week, we will learn the leg positions and put them together. This is a workshop I've taught many times. It's one of my favorite things to teach. And a lot of the arm movements were inspired by Fatim. She was the first person that introduced me to this idea of mixing and matching different arm poses. She has a DVD that she created, and I think she has 9 arm poses, and I just went a little crazy and expanded to 38. And these are a sampling of what I've seen as very popular around the world. It's by no means comprehensive document of all arm poses used in all dances. Like that would be a lot bigger than 38 poses. Touring with superstars and Belly Dance Evolution and with Belly Queen with Pure, and just my own different travels that I've taken on my own. I've picked up along the way different movements and wraps that people like to use. And this changes with fashion as well. And so don't feel like this is set in stone or is concrete. I'm always making adjustments. In fact, today I was adjusting some of the names because my old description from last year had the word tribal, and now we're not using that word anymore. So I was thinking, well, what word do I put in here? So I put the word transnational for now, although I think it's still kind of a mouthful to say transnational tabletop or transnational frame, you know, it's just many syllables. In general, I'm in favor of choosing names that get the point across as quickly as possible. And so, for example, if you follow the Salampur school, and I want to give a shout out to Jamila Salampur, who is the late mother of Suhaila Salampur, and they're based in the Bay Area in California. And Jamila was the very first dancer, as far as I know, in the world who started to give specific names to different belly dance movements. And so some of the names, like, for example, Arabic, or she calls the front to back step Turkish. And I did try using that word for a few years, and then I decided to switch to front to back because every time I would teach that, and this goes for scissor step too, like Tamlin Dalal, she calls the front to back step scissor step, and then Jamila calls it Turkish step. And then every time I break any of these movements down, I say, take 1 foot, step to the front, and then it steps to the back. And so I just thought, you know what, just use the words that you use to break down the step. It's so much simpler than trying to explain what it means, right? And of course, there's certain names like basic Egyptian, where you do have to break down, okay, it's a step touch, there's a twist, your arms are moving in a certain way. But it happens enough that this is part of the vocabulary that we all share. And that basic Egyptian is also a name that Jamila Salampur gave to that specific movement. So some of the names stuck. And then if I find a simpler name, I usually like to go for that. For example, in the Salampur school, they say interior hip circle. And I like to use Ami, which is 2 syllables, instead of interior hip circle, which is 7 syllables to say one thing, right? So just keep that in mind with some of these names. Madeira is asking about transnational or transnat. Get rid of national. Yeah. And Fatine teaches at Dance Garden, which is the studio that Lauren owns, co-owns. So check her out. She's so fun. She is the most fun teacher for counting ever. So if you ever take her workshop or class, she's like, 1, 2, like she's having an orgasm with every count. I don't know how old she is. She's one of those women like Steve Martin, you know, you just, she's always looks the same age. 50 years later, she still looks the same. But she's in great shape, and she's a wonderful inspiration. Okay, we were roommates at a festival, at Rakasa Festival, and we were both deathly sick when this happened. And so we have fond memories of just coughing and spluttering and being the two invalids with each other years ago. Yeah, okay. So let's begin. We're going to start with a little warm up. I'm tempted to have you guys warm each other up, although that is, of course, throwing it at you without giving you any warning. So I'm not going to do that to you this week. But I want to warn you that next week, I would like you to warm each other up for at least 5 minutes, okay? So 5 minutes each, 10 minutes total. Today, I will lead the warm up. So it'll be the same as week 2. It's choreographed. It's a more of an aerobic style warm up. And it'll be done to Desert Rose at 90% speed. Okay, here we go. And I know that some of you are very experienced teachers and you teach all the time. So I may invite some of you to lead the whole class in a warm-up. That's anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, I did warn you about that in the first week. Okay, let's start. Desert Rose. I should share computer sound. Do that. Okay. Let's reach both arms up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Release down. Lean side to side. Free your spine. Free your head. 4, 3, 2. Circle. 4, 3, 2. Paint the corners. Twist. 4, 3, 2. Snake arms. Release out your spine. The more you bend the leg, the faster you'll warm up. Circle. 4, 3, 2, and paint. Transform your arms into paintbrushes. Breathe. Twist. 4, 3, 2. Now let's do 4 of each. That's it, everyone. Circle. Reaching to the corners. Twist. Again, last time. Circle. Corners. Twist. And now step the left foot in, right foot in. Travel front. Travel back. Travel front. Travel back. 2 steps to the right, release the shoulders down. Drop. Let the breath releasing out. Again. Shoulder circle. Elbows. Navel front. Navel back. 2 steps to the right, shoulder circle. Elbows. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, navel back, puff. Inhale, arch down. Exhale, roll up. Repeat. Inhale. Exhale, navel back. Inhale, heart opens, release down. Exhale, roll up. Head circles, release down. Stand tall, circle your chest, left to right. Now the arms lift up. Change direction, moving to the right. Leave the arms down, continue to circle with your chest, right to left. Head circles, right to left. Stand tall, hold a shimmy, step touch. Twist. Arch and contract. African shimmy. Shimmy. Repeat, shoulders. Twist. African. Shimmy. Travel front. Step, touch, step, touch. Yes, that's good. 2 steps to the right, shoulder circle. Elbows. Inhale. Exhale. Right wrist up, right knee bend. Left wrist up, left knee bend. One more time, right, left, right leg lunges back. Stretching to the left. Which muscles are we stretching? I can't hear you, but I'll tell you. The right calf muscle, the right side waist. Let's pull the left wrist to the right. Stretching into the left side waist. Lifting the right heel up, tuck. Stretching into your hip flexor, also known as the psoas, or iliopsoas if you want the longer name. Opening the heart, stretching into your chest, also known as the pectoralis major. So let's swing that right leg 3 times. And step the left leg back, stretching into the calf, also known as the gastrocnemius. Reaching the left arm up, stretching into your side waist, the quadratus lumborum muscle. Reaching right arm to the left. So normally I don't say the Latin names to my students. Lift the left heel up, tuck, stretching into your hip, because it's a little much. However, it's important as a teacher to know your anatomy. So even if you're using the more conventional name, like hip flexor, psoas, ideally, you're aware of where it is and what they're called. And let's swing that left leg 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Exit and stretch into the glute. So the glutes are also known as the maximus gluteus. The 3 of them. And we're going to be diving into them after Adam. So not next week, but the week after. The glutes are really great for stabilizing. We use them a lot in belly dance, but they get really tight. And if you don't stretch out your glutes, then that can refer pain to the low back. So it's really important that, especially in the cool down. I always like to warm up into the glutes. So this is an example of dynamic stretching. So you're not necessarily holding a static stretch, but you're moving. And this helps to elevate your heart rate, get the blood circulating. Let's stretch out the right deltoid, which is your right shoulder. And your 3 heads of your deltoid, anterior, medial, and posterior. Let's bring the right elbow up and stretch into your tricep. Let's let's move into an outward figure eight. Okay, I'm assuming this is not necessarily something I would do in an absolute beginner class where I'm already going into outward figure eight when I haven't taught it yet. However, I know that all of you know how to do this. So let's reach left arm across, stretching into the left posterior deltoid or the left shoulder. Usually if I'm teaching, I just say left shoulder. I don't say left posterior deltoid. Let's stretch into our glutes and IT band one more time. You can put your hand on the wall if you wish, or you can balance in the center of the room. It's your choice. And we're going to place the right ankle on the left knee. Fix your gaze on the spot. Solid. Spine is long. Heart is open. Breathing into the right outer hip. Inhale. I'll roll up. Take it out. Left leg front. Ankle to knee. Placing one hand on your knee, the other hand on the heel. And then if someone's really flexible in your class, you can tell them to put their fingers on the floor. It's their choice. And then slowly roll up. Shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. Shake out the head, shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Okay, for time, I'm going to be diving into the different poses. But before we do that, I just want to share, and Lisa will talk about this in a few weeks, the important muscle groups to stretch out or be aware of for the warm-up. So this way, next week when you guys practice meeting each other, the music's dominating my voice. How about now? The audio is off. Is it okay now? Give me a thumbs up. Did I switch it to medium? I did. I switched it to medium. How about now? Is it better? That's still a bit loud. The music's still loud. Interesting. Weird. Okay, I'm going to switch the music off. We don't need the music. Music be gone. I was doing so much talking, and that whole time you guys were like, that sucks. Okay. Where was I? Oh, okay. I was talking about the muscle groups that tend to be tight for most people, especially sedentary folks. So we have the calf muscles, basically front body, back body, side waist. People get tight. They tend to hunch forward. The chin is forward for the desk monkey position or excessive smartphone use position. So it's a matter of stretching open the heart, stretching open the chest, strengthening the back muscles, and also stretching out the calves. People have a lot of tension in the neck as well. So I always do some sort of head circle, shoulder circles really help in releasing out tension. Circles are fabulous. So I recommend them for really mobilizing all the different joints. But in general, you want to elevate the heart rate. So as you're starting out, just get that heart rate up. And you can do so most effectively by activating your large muscle groups, using your arms and your legs together, as opposed to we're going to warm up and then you just start moving your wrists, as opposed to the whole body. Okay. So if you use your whole body to move and start breathing, then it helps to center everyone and it gets everything warmed up faster. Okay, so those are some basic principles. We're going to dive into this sheet. I'm going to show you quickly what the sheet looks like, just so that you can get a visual on it. Any questions about what I said? Does it make sense?
Yeah, I was starting to type it, but maybe I should just ask it. It'll be quicker.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just said for the warm-up, you said your goal here is really to get the heart rate going, and you did say that it was going to be aerobic and sort of cardiac, but sort of like looking back, like the a lot of the teachers I've studied with and the way that my own way of teaching is that the goal has usually been to be stretching first. And then we would go more into cardio like that. So there would be like a lot of stretches as far as the warm up. So I just wanted to get your feedback on that. So was that today specifically the goal was to get the heart rate going, or what can you tell me about the maybe the two approaches of focusing more like on stretching, on slow stretching, because that's not going to be cardiac at all. You know, if you're like, especially if you start off
Yeah,
with floor work and things like that. A lot of my teachers, that's been the approach. And I've got to admit, that's always been my approach too, is like stretching first and then I'm going into the cardio and things like that.
well, the point of stretching is to realign your muscle fibers. And if your goal is to increase your flexibility, generally the thought is if you, I mean, there are different schools of thought, but most people seem to agree that if you want to increase your flexibility, you need to hold the stretch longer than 30 seconds, or at least for 30 seconds. And most of the time, that's just too long for a warm up. You're going to be cool if you stay still for that long.
Okay.
So if you're in a yin yoga class and people have that expectation that you're going to be very relaxed and hold and it's gentle, that's one thing. But I usually find when people come to belly dance, they want to move, they want to dance. They don't want to stretch until it's the end, until it's time to center.
Okay.
And
Okay, so that's kind of like the public there, because like that's got to be like the New York crowd or people that are coming in, or the time of the day, because I've got to say, like, what I notice, especially like in Paris and things like that, people want to come in and they've just run to get there, so they're coming in with like over cardiac type
all right, yeah, that's a
and
good
then they're also
point.
doing like stretches and then like coming down and catching your breath and centering first.
Sure.
So yeah, so I didn't mean to, because like I think I've kind of like taken this off on this is a really maybe
Yeah,
more of a
I'll
complex
just,
question, but I just wanted to ask that to find out like what you
yep.
would expect from a warm up from us, because you said we would be doing warm ups as well too. So
Yeah, yeah, and maybe before I do have a warm-up section, so
mhm,
we can jump ahead to that. Not today,
mhm,
but maybe before I have you guys warm up each other. Although you did hear a lot today already,
mhm.
so I'm gonna contemplate that about when to roll out the warm-up, like all the list of things.
Okay.
Just to answer your question quickly about stretching before cardio. Studies have shown that you don't have as much power in your muscles after you've stretched it for a long period of time. So if your movement's more plyometric, where you're crouching and you need to jump really high. So that's not really us, because we're not Olympian athletes that are high jumpers, right? But studies have shown that if you're stretching first, then you don't have as much power because the muscles are more at rest. So
Okay.
if you want your muscles to have more power, then you don't want to hold the stretch for that long. Like dynamic stretching is better for your muscles to prepare for movement. It's
Okay.
fine if at the end when you're done with whatever your goal is to
Okay.
accomplish.
So basically, then the rule is really privilege the cardio style warm up like this, like we can get the aerobic and get the energy going and
Yeah,
everything, because that's going to prepare the body better for the
yeah,
more dynamic dance
yeah.
moves. Okay, got it.
I've never understood why for yoga with sun salutations, like when I first wake up in the morning, that's the last thing I want to do, go into a forward fold for me, you know. I was like, oh my God, I don't feel warm enough to do this. Why am I doing this? I don't get it. But it's I
Okay.
guess if you have really long hamstrings and it's no big deal to fold forward, then it's no big deal. Then your muscles can be cold and can do that, right? But for the average person, like that's hard. And that you risk serious injury, I think. Like you have to prepare your body to stretch like that. It has to be warm, because then you can tear your ligaments. You're not stretching the belly of the muscle.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Let's dive into these poses. I hope that was interesting for you guys.
I think Kara's raising their hand.
Kiera's raising her hand. Um,
Yeah,
okay,
I was just, oh, okay, no, I don't want to
you're,
take you off track. That's,
you don't want to
yes,
take us off
no.
track.
Uh, I was just going to say that although it was fast, we were stretching the whole time.
Yes. Yes.
So it was, aerobic stretching.
Yeah. Yeah. Dynamic stretching. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's continue.
But you were going to show us something.
I'm going to go into poses now.
Oh, I thought you were going to show us that.
Oh, I was.
picture.
You're right. I was going to show you the list. Thank you, Kara. I was so focused on answering Madira's questions. Like, what thing was I going to show you? Okay, here it is. Here it is. Okay. All right, this is something that's in your folder. We're learning this list here on the left. Hug, open, oriental tabletop, Gawazi, Argentina, up, down, transnational tabletop, which is a mouthful, and is probably going to be something that's transitory, meaning I'm going to change this in the near future. And if any of you have a better name, let me know. Water pot out, in, O, which is also ballet, fifth position, diamond in and out, high pharaonic, down and up, high V, up, down, hair, relax, vogue, genie, mummy, heart, give, lotus, fist, point, push, forehead, headache, hairline, temple, palms in, chin, prayer, palms down. Cheeks, palms down, shoulders wrapped around, low V, Marty, love, cowgirl, transnational frame, oriental frame, and back. All right, do you remember all of that?
Daisy, have you taken photographs of yourself with each of these poses by any chance? You're so organized. I wouldn't be surprised if you've got like a photo of each one of these arm positions.
I did go through them. I need to shoot myself doing a video, just cycling through. Well, this is a video.
Yeah, but just like a
class
photo.
is the video.
Like just
No, I don't have a photo album.
Photos, like if it were a book, an old-fashioned book.
Yeah, that's the next step. And a lot of these poses, I've put ballet terms next to them. And of course, this was before the whole conversation of, are we just colonializing dance by using ballet? Because it's what a lot of people think of the foundation of dance, which is just one perspective that came from France, right? So this I put here before we started to think about this conversation. I do put some ballet terms in there, and you see more of them in the leg positions, because if you are collaborating with mainstream dancers, most of them will know these names, and this is a common vocabulary. And many years ago, when I was auditioning for Madonna's Drown Tour, I remember going to the audition, they said, and I overheard some dancers say, oh, it was simple. We just did 2 double parallel pirouettes with some battemans. And I was just thinking, what the hell's a batman? Like, I didn't know what that was. And I felt left out, like I wasn't in the in group, right? So I thought, you know what? I'm going to empower my students. You're going to know what a batman is. Whether or not you do it all the time, that's up to you. It doesn't matter if you do it more than, like, if you never do it again beyond this class, but at least you'll have heard of it and you know what it is. So that's my thinking. And if you take classes with Egyptian teachers like Mogadawi, like Dr. Mo, or Fatin Salama from DC, any of the teachers that went through the Retta troupe, they often will just say out, they'll say figure 8, shimmy, and then they'll say chasse, they'll say releve, they'll throw out the ballet terms. Usually it's just really basic in English words with a slew of different ballet terms, and not necessarily correct even with the ballet terms that I've noticed. Anyway, I'm not an expert in ballet, but I know enough to know that it's not always used correctly. So let's begin with Batin Salama. Yes, I'll give those names later. Here we go. Standing in basic position. And I'm thinking of relabeling this as home. Let's bring the arms down. Allow the crown of the head to reach to the sky. Knees are soft. Weight is between the balls and the heels. Let's bring the arms to hug. Imagine you're hugging a tree. And we're using the basic hand position with the middle finger dropped, the knuckles lifted, and the wrist pressed down. Okay, so you're creating a gentle curve across the top. This is one hand position used in transnational fusion, used in Oriental. You also have the fourth finger and middle finger glued together. Fatim teaches this, and might use this in the specific hand movement. Then there is this one that's more often seen in Oriental style, where you're touching your thumb to your index finger. And it's usually around the first joint, around there. It's not like this, okay? So shake it out. So you'll see people like Bojenka, she loves to hold her hands like this. It's like a little peacock with an eye, yeah. But not so flexed back, like Indian style, just more relaxed, okay. So with our arm positions, the hands could vary as well. We're going to move into hug first. So imagine you're hugging a tree and the hands are going to extend out from above your belly button, below your sternum, around here. So it's kind of on a diagonal. And you use this arm position when you're turning, when you're doing a 3-step turn. A lot of my students end up like this. The hands are too high, the shoulders lift. And so allowing the hands to be lower than the elbows is helpful. Then there's open, okay? So this is another position that you'll see with the hands. This is a ballet position where these 3 fingers are connected and the index finger is flared out. And the arms are creating a semicircle, open. Next, we have Oriental tabletop. And once you've broken this down, you can just simplify it to tabletop. You don't have to say Oriental tabletop, you know? So we have our wrist and our middle finger on this invisible table surface, elbows soft. And this is more the classical queen line. From here, we're going to move to Gawazi. So this is a W shape. The fingers are in line with the shoulders. So what's important to watch out for is making sure you're not creating excess tension. So this is an example of excess tension in the forearms, which we're going to arrive at for Argentina up, which is more extreme, but definitely something I saw when I was touring with Argentina dancers. Argentina down. So this is very dramatic, like you're showing off your beautiful nails that you just got done at the salon. And from here, we're going to move to water pot, palms out. Imagining you have a water pot balanced on your head and the hands on either side, water pot, palms in. This is more relaxed and easier to hold, and for people who are not as flexible. So I recommend water pot in versus water pot out. Then we have O. And usually the hands are slightly in front. So you're creating an O shape. And this is helpful for doing turns where the hands circle over the head. So they move past this O shape, right? From here, we're going to connect the palms and create diamond palms in. And I like to cross my thumbs over each other. It makes it a little easier to hold the hands together. And it's your choice if you want to kiss the palms or have the little fingers separated. From here, we're going to move to diamond out, palms out. Now we're moving to high pharaonic palms down, or just high pharaonic down, high pharaonic up, high V up, high V down. And now you're going to move to your hair. So activate your thumb mount, gently placing the hands on your head, little fingers lifted off, relax those shoulders, and relax. So the hands are floppy, they're relaxed. And from here, we're going to move to Vogue, which is directly from voguing, which is a style of hip hop dance, and from more fusion. And then we'll move to Genie. After Genie, like I Dream of Genie, the TV sitcom, we'll move to Mummy. So think ancient Egyptian mummy. From Mummy, we'll go to Heart. Give. Lotus. I went to Tribal Fest the last year it ran before it closed down. I was so amazed at how much Indian fusion there is. So this hand position was added that year. Lotus hands. You'll see it a lot. Fist. Okay, so fist, like, oh, my lover's so far away. I feel the passion. My heart is breaking. So we have the fist, right? Point. When I point, I always think of Natalie Nazario. She danced with Ballet Queen for a bunch of years. She's from Puerto Rico. So she likes to point with her hands. It's very playful. So it's not like, you did something wrong. It's not that type of pointing. It's more like, I see you. Okay. Although with theater, you can definitely point with the intention of accusing. Yeah. From point, we're going to move to push. The hands will overlap in front. You'll see it in this position, pushing side to side. Then we move to forehead. Often I like to use this, creating a little window. So I like to look to the side with forehead. It's a little more awkward from the front, but we're learning these movements symmetrically first before we move into asymmetry. From there, we go into Egyptian headache, or just headache. There was a photographer in New York called Jerry Bezdikian, and he would always have every photo shoot, the dancer would end up like this. Doesn't matter who, you're gonna be in headache pose. So headache, oh, it's too much. Then we have hairline. From here, temple, touching your temples, cheeks, palms in, chin. I'd say in like 2012, 2011, I noticed a bunch of dancers that use their hands to move their chin and their head from side to side. So this made it in around then, I think. Yeah, or maybe it was 2010. Then from there, we're going to move to prayer. So this is something I see a lot. Sometimes you might end your show with a little bow in prayer position. You see it more in yoga. And then of course, if you visit Thailand, this is how they bow to you. And belly dancers use it too, right? But it's more fusion, I would say. I'm not sure if I've seen Egyptian dancers do this specific movement. From here, we're going to move to cheeks, palms down, and shoulders. So in Persian dance, this is very popular. I see this arm frame with Argentina dancers too. So sometimes they'll turn like this, or they'll turn like that. So according to Rana Gorgani, who is a Persian dancer based in Paris, she's of Persian descent. These are two birds that are perched on your shoulders. That's what they are. So those are shoulders. And now we have wraparound. So wraparound can be horizontal or diagonal. So those are two variations where you're touching the opposite hip bone. And of course, it depends on the size of your student too, because not everybody can reach for the hip bone, and that's fine. You know, you just wrap your body with your arms. Okay, wrap around. Low V, Marty Love. So she is a well-known dancer, fusion dancer, who brought this specific position into popular use. And people like Sharon Kihara, she'll refer to this as the Marty position. And how is this different from Oriental tabletop? The elbows are closer because in fusion styles, shoulders are used more often. And if you're trying to do that with extended arms, it's uncomfortable to use your shoulders like that. It's easier to isolate the shoulders when the elbows are closer, right? From here, we're going to move to cowgirl, placing the hands on your hips. And this is really fun when you're bouncing your hips and your hands in this position. After that, we're moving to transnational frame. Okay, so that's a mouthful. Your thumb is hidden, the fingers are long. You're creating an elongated diamond shape on either side. I don't like to say you have to have your hands on this bump is the greater trochanter, on the bump or on your hip bones, because everybody has a different shape torso, different length of arms. So if you're trying to synchronize with a troupe, I prefer to look for the shape your arms are creating and then synchronize with that as opposed to the body part. And that's just my perspective. After that, we go to Oriental frame. So imagining that you have a giant sun and the hands are sunbaking. And then we move to back. So your middle finger is in line with your forearms and is resting on your sacrum. And this is fabulous for dancing with a prop like a cane, like a fan. Sometimes you don't know what to do with the other arm. So just place it on your back, you know? And this is used in Chinese dance too, this specific frame. If you're dancing with a sword, you can have this back position. Okay, actually with sword, there are other hand positions that I'm not gonna go into right now. Let's recycle through everything or cycle through everything. Here we go. Hug, open, Oriental tabletop, Gawazi, Argentina up, Argentina down, transnational tabletop, water pot out, water pot in, O, diamond in, diamond out, high pharaonic down, high pharaonic up, high V up, high V down, hair, relax, Vogue, genie, mummy, heart, give, lotus, fist, point, push, forehead, headache, hairline, temple, cheeks, palms in, chin, prayer, cheeks, palms down, shoulders, wraparound, low V, Marty Love, cowgirl, transnational frame, oriental frame, and back. Okay, let's shake it out. Normally, if we were together in an in-person class, I would have you reciting back to me what it is. So I will cycle through and then you would be saying out loud what each pose is. Can we use that to play Simon Says? That's an interesting idea. You could. So the power of these movements, of these poses, are how they're combined asymmetrically, right? Let's try that. Let's leave the left arm in shoulder pose. This is interesting. I don't think I've done this version before, at least not recently. And with our right arm, we're going to cycle through everything. As I cycle through it, I want you to mentally, or you can say out loud, say what it is, okay? So I'm going to keep my mouth shut and I'm going to cycle through these poses and you are going to try and remember the names. Here we go.
Hi. Open.
Yeah, so Kiera, I can hear you, which is awesome. I don't know if you all want to say something.
Sorry, I didn't need to be so loud.
Huh?
I didn't need to be so loud. I'll just whisper it to
Oh, I like that you're speaking. You can continue to speak if you want. Maybe that will help others. Or maybe you'll give it away. So they're going to rely on you. Okay. Or I'll mute you and everyone's on the same page. So that way you're all guessing. And this is a great way for you to practice your memory. And in the test, I'm going to hold my body in a specific position. And you will need to remember what those poses are and what the movements are, okay? So just letting you know, by December 14th, if I have my arms like this, then you should be able to say shoulder, oriental tabletop. You can write that down, okay? All right, here we go.
Open. Oriental table. Argentinian up, Argentinian down. The basket up and down. Pharaoh down. Down up.
Okay.
Head. Both.
Let's relax, yeah. This is Vogue. Mm-hmm.
Mommy. The mommy. Heart. Give. Lotus. Feet. Point. Push. Forehead. Headache. Temples.
That's hairline, right?
Temples. Hair. Cheeks down.
Mm-hmm.
Shoulder. B down. Marty. Transnat. Channel.
Okay, shake it out. Thank you, Cecilia, for guessing. Popular combinations that you'll often see are the S, which is What's happening with my right arm? What's that? Water pot in. Oriental frame with the left, right? Transnational position that's often used is this one. Water pot out. I can't, I'm so weirded out by saying transnational tabletop. TS, really? TS, is that?
People have gone back to using ATS, ITS, and FCBD. And so when it's the neutral tribal, it's just tribal style, transnational style. So TS.
Oh, TS, okay. All right, yeah, so this is used a lot. Shake it out. You can also cross the center line, so you don't always have to stay on one side. You can cross to the other, right? This is temple and high V. And now I would love for you guys to play a game in breakout rooms. How can I demonstrate this game? Madeira has a question.
What if I do this? What's that?
That's temple.
It would be cross tempo or something.
Yeah, you're crossing the center line, but you're still touching your temple.
No, but you'd have to say cross tempo.
I guess so, yeah. That would be true. You can say cross temple. Okay, so how can I do this with latency? Okay, there's a game. It's about innovating and imitating. Those are the two principles. Lauren, can I count on you to be my partner? I know I'm just putting you on the spot.
Sure.
Is Ethan here today? Did he just take the babies? Is what happened?
He
Or
just
is
put her
she
down for a
sleeping?
nap.
Oh, the
Yeah,
baby's sleeping. Okay. So can you back up a little so that way everyone can see more of your body, at least your arms. We're not really working on the legs.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to create an arm position with one arm, and you will mirror that. And you will change with your left arm, you will create another position, any position. Yes. So now I copy Lauren, and then I change my other arm, and she copies me, and then she changes her other arm. And she's even adding transitions now. That's the next step, adding transitions. Just keep it simple for now. But of course, you can do hand circles, you can do hand waves, you know, but we usually keep it simple at first. Okay, so I'm copying her. And now I raise up, she copies me, and then she innovates. Good. We're to S. And then I change it, and then she copies me, and then she changes it. Awesome. Yay, thank you, Lauren. You picked that up immediately. Are we clear about this game? Yes, I see nods. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of you, which means that I will be paired up with somebody. Oh, Isla has another 2 that she can add on. I would be very curious. Okay, breakout room time. Assign automatically, and then I will, oops, recreate 6 breakout rooms. Madeira, you with Trisha. Isla's with Lauren. Cecilia is with Yame. Anna's with Oxy. Belinda's with Maki. I'm going to be paired up with Kiara. And so Kiara, don't leave, just stay here. And you will play this game for about 3 minutes. Okay? I'm going to send you off. Usually we do this with music, but it's not going to work with latency. See you in 3 minutes. You guys going? Yep. Okay.
I think somebody doesn't have a partner. Wait, is inviting you to? I'm being invited to breakout room 1.
You just ignore that. Stay here.
Okay.
Belinda is still here. Now she's gone. Okay. All right. The dance with the shorter hair starts. So that's you. My hair's longer than yours.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
ready. So I just want to double check something. So I'm doing only one movement to start with one, and then you're adding that, and then I pick up that and then add something different.
Yeah, yeah. So you start and I copy you, then I innovate. Mhm. 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 That's it. Oh, I didn't keep track of the time. I started to get so carried away. It's fun, right?
Yeah.
I think you're going to innovate now, right?
Okay, but I didn't see the move that you did. Did you change? Because I had headache and I was like this. Okay, headache, and then I'm going to do.
Oh, Lotus. Okay, good. Nice. Cool. I'm just going to send a little broadcast that
Okay.
to finish up. Hang on.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll just close the rooms.
Okay. Thank you. That was fun.
Wasn't that fun? You
Yeah.
picked it up well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, I see all your exercise balls and your rollers there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, at first, COVID, I was just like out of control gaining weight, and then I got on track.
Yeah, it's easy because we're very sedentary, you know. I'm not exercising as much as I used to. Just walking around and commuting, that's so much exercise. Hi guys, how was that for you? I wish something
Nice.
can be invented so there wasn't latency, you know? That would be amazing.
It definitely creates some limitations.
Right? All right. Are we all back?
I think.
Nice.
Yeah, that
That's
was
awesome.
fun.
Yeah, it's easy
lot
to
of
get
fun.
carried away. It's like, wow, the time's disappearing. Isla, what are the 2 moves that you want to add on or that you think are contenders? Touching your finger to your nose? To your cheek. Ah. Well, you can point at your cheek. So that's one. Which other one? Oh, that's an Indian move, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, there's so many mudras in Indian dance. Yeah. Yeah, that you could have a whole list of another 40 at least, if not more. Yeah. All right. Awesome. I'm glad Belinda and Maki had fun, and Isla also, and Cecilia. Madeira, did I answer your question?
You did, dear, but I already have another question.
Okay. What's your other question?
No, it's just a silly question. I did this and I didn't know what it was called. What was that called? I'm getting confused, like with all the different cheeks and chins and everything. Like, and that's where I
Yeah.
find that the names are
Cheeks.
tricky in here.
Yeah.
They're so close.
Yeah. Cheeks, palms down, cheeks, palms in, basically.
Okay, got it. Thank you. I thought it was like the oh my god.
The oh my God.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. In the context of Egyptian dance, the first time I saw that being used was by a woman called Nadia Hamdi. So she was teaching a workshop in 97 about candelabra. So she was a protege of the woman who invented it. And so she would get down on the floor and she would touch her cheeks like this. So it's very, and she was in straddle position. So she had this candelabra on her head, and that's the only exception of Egyptian dance for floor work. She was like this with her legs outspread, and she's touching her face like, look how cute I am. And then she's using her feet to flex and point.
So both, like whether it's up or down, it's all, this would just all be different cheeks, different things.
Yeah, the cheeks,
framing?
but one
What's
the
that?
palms, cheeks, palms down.
Okay.
If you
they
can think of a
could be
better
pointed, but
name,
they could be rounded with the thumbs. I mean, you can get into here and you could do,
you could. It's true. Yeah,
you
you could
know,
do this. This is more
different-
Central Asian,
or if they're pointed.
Persian. Yeah.
Mhm. Or like that. What's that?
We're gonna be here all night, Madeira. With
Sorry. I'll mute myself.
no, I know. I love your comments. It's awesome. You're a very smart lady with insightful questions, and yeah. So let's go to the teaching tools. Before we do that, I want to make sure that everybody is clear about the poses. Do you have any questions? Trisha has a question. Oh, Isla has a question or a comment about Turkish snaps. Yeah. The Turkish snap, I did originally have it in this sheet, and then I took it out because it's not technically symmetrical. Although I guess you can't really do it one at a time. It's just like a special hand movement and sound. Would you guys like to learn it anyway? The Turkish snap? Yeah. There's a technique. It's not at all about being born knowing how to do it, right? I want to credit Lale Sayoko. So she taught me. Hang on, I'm just going to spotlight myself because all of a sudden I don't seem to be. Oh, I am spotlit, but why am I not? Okay.
Let me go to speaker view. Okay.
I'm just going to spotlight myself again. Okay. I'm teaching you the Turkish snap, which is not just used in Turkey, but Turkish people definitely use it. Okay, let me mirror. How many of you are right-handed? Everybody? Except Yame. Okay, I'm still gonna mirror. All right. Extend out your left hand. Place your right hand on top. and slide your hand over. So your index finger, oh, you do this right-handed. Your index finger is in the groove between the index finger and the middle finger on your left hand. I wanted to lower the brightness so my hands are not blown out. Hang on a second. You can see my hands better now. So now you're going to slide your right index so that the top joint covers the hole. I have a little hole here. According to my mom, this is where your money drains away. We're Chinese people. So she likes to wear rings to plug up her holes in her hands to try and hold on to money. Bit of trivia. Anyway, you're plugging the hole with your index finger, okay? And now you're going to take your right hand and bring the thumb under so the thumb is hidden, and place the middle finger of the right hand at an angle of the middle finger of the left hand. So instead of having the hands together like you're praying, the right hand is angled, so it's resting on the middle finger of the left hand. And what you're going to do with the right index finger is you're going to swipe across like you're striking a match. And as you bring that right index down to land on the middle finger, the left index is going to move away, move away, move away. And then your index, your right index ends up in this hole that I was showing you earlier. If it's too high, it's not going to work. The reason why we have the hands on the ledge like this is if the palms are connected, when you strike, this ends up happening, especially if your hands are sweaty. So, so this is the technique. I'm not used to doing this on my opposite hand, but basically even on my non-dominant hand, I'm still getting a sound because it's just about where your fingers land. It's the physics of it all. I'm just gonna have a look at you on gallery view. I see furrowed brows. You guys are concentrating. Lauren, are you getting any sound? You are, okay, because you're looking relaxed doing it. How about you, Isla? Are you getting any sounds? Yes, okay. Madeira, your hands are slipping. You're slipping. Create that ledge. Connect your right middle finger to the left middle finger. And don't let the right middle finger leave that spot. So you want it resting on top. Your middle finger is on your fourth finger. You need it, both middle fingers to connect. And you can even fold the top thumb down. That makes it easier. Same thing with you, Yame. So you need to angle the right hand. It's not like this. The spine, the heel. Is this the heel? What's this called? This part of the hand, the karate chop part, right? Oh, you can't even snap your fingers normally. Yeah, the pinky side, lift it away. Lift it away. So see how it's lifted slightly? It doesn't have to be extreme, but it needs to be lifted just a little. So this is placed on top. If it's angled the same way, then after you strike it, it's gonna fall off. Okay, all right. Food for thought. Well, I don't recommend doing that too much, but usually I get a lot of really good results, and people can start hearing sounds pretty quickly. And these are people who have not been able to do the finger snap for years, and they're professional dancers and they've given up on the finger snap, you know. But it helps if I'm there with you and I'm able to see you clearly, because I can't see everybody clearly with your angle. All right, so that's the finger snap. Let's take a 4-minute break. I'm gonna come back to do teaching tools, or are you guys ready? Can you soldier on?
I do need to run to the bathroom. I was waiting.
Okay, let's do a 4-minute break. I'll see you guys at 8:55. Bye.